Crypto.com back with some more major big features for the Crypto.com platform. And not only that, is Crypto.com potentially going public? We've been hearing the ramblings about an IPO from the CEO himself, Chris, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into the nitty and gritty of what's going on with Crypto.com. But before we do, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, turn on those notifications for all updates on Crypto.com, Chronos blockchain, and the Crow coin. I sure do got a playlist in up there somewhere. One of these corners, I don't know. One of them. It's a playlist for Crypto.com. Now, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about it because we know Crypto.com has been absolutely ripping, this past month. And I do think we still have more to gain. So let's look at price and where we at today. So, man, currently we are at 27 cents, almost at that 28-cent mark for Crow at this moment in time. In the past month, we are up 100% gains, man, just in this month. And that's why I was telling everybody, you got to buy the dips. The dips are your friends because we saw in the beginning of August, we were at 14 cents. We were just kind of straddling that 14 cents, going from 13.9 to 15 until by the end of August we saw that crazy run up. Now we have seen some downside movement since hitting at 37 cents. So I was expecting for some cool off just because we went on a crazy run. That's like more than 100% gains right there. So we got to acknowledge that and realize that we are in one of those markets where we're going to experience a cool off. So right now it's just a waiting game, man. It's just a waiting game until we see higher pricing. If we zoom our way out, we know that it's still so much more runway to go. Now, right now, the market cap is at $9.39 billion. Volume is up 100%, coming in at $476 million. Now, the community sentiment is still 85% bullish, 15% bearish at this moment in time in the market. And in my personal opinion, man, I honestly see Chronos still going to $1. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it even goes further or past that dollar mark just because of everything that's going on right now with the Chronos and the Crypto.com team. So the Frax has selected Crypto.com custody to provide custody and liquidity solutions for Frax stablecoins and staking assets. So we're starting to see Crypto.com get a lot of these companies, or a lot of these companies are partnering with Crypto.com for them to provide custody for their crypto project and liquidity solutions. This is not the first, and this, I'm guaranteeing it won't be the last company to go to Crypto.com to provide that custody and that liquidity solution. And I think this is just the beginning of we starting to see bigger crypto projects come to Crypto.com to do the same things for them. And this doesn't really translate directly into the Crow token price, but it just shows that Crypto.com is resilient and that the infrastructure that they're building on is here to stay. And people trust Crypto.com. That's the biggest thing in crypto, having that trust, because we know things happen in crypto and people always get scammed. So Crypto.com building that rapport with all these digital crypto companies makes it super bullish. And something else, man, that just happened yesterday, introducing cash earned in the US, a secure way to grow your money in a Crypto.com app, up to 5% APY in Crow on your cash, no minimum balance required, no lockup period, FDIC insured up to $5 million. Become a level up member to start earning. So now, man, they're giving 5% away to the US holders who hold, fiat cash on the Crypto.com platform. And we're starting to see a lot of CFI projects, a lot of CFI companies offer specific yields to their customers. And I think 5% is very much so a competitive APY. I think right now Robinhood does 4.5% if you do the Robinhood Gold membership. I think Coinbase does something similar to that. I think Chime does something similar to that. But I think that crypto.com is the first major crypto company that offers both, stocks and cryptos, that offers you a yield on your cash. So this is huge, especially people who hold money onto their or on the crypto.com platform. While you're holding money, you can be generating a 5% yield by participating in this. So we love to see this for crypto.com. We love to see all these new features and updates that they're continuously doing. Now, something else, man, I wanted to show this little ad that
Every
was
once
made
in a while,
for
something big
crypto.com.
happens. Something that in hindsight changes everything. And now, in a defining moment for crypto, Trump Media Group and Crypto.com are joining forces to acquire up to $6.4 billion.
And this ad has been running everywhere, man. This ad, I seen it as an ad on Twitter or X. I seen it as an ad on, I want to say YouTube. I've been seeing this ad a couple of places. It's just showing how the Trump Media Group is acquiring or using $6.4 billion to acquire Crow.
Dollars of CRO, launching America's first ever CRO treasury. This is more than a partnership. It's the future of finance, built in America. For more, visit crypto.com, where millions trade CRO every day.
This is going to be huge, man. Putting that out there, letting the people know that Trump Media is being or becoming the biggest Crow holder. Super bullish. Can't wait to see what that really details or entails, rather. And also see how the Truth Social platform is going to use the Crow token as a utility token, giving Crow even more utility in the marketplace. Now, last but not least, man, we got to talk about how Chris, the CEO of Crypto.com, says going public, doing an IPO is very tempting, but no decisions need to be made in the short term. Let's hear what he has to say.
Held. What are the plans for Crypto.com more broadly? We're just hearing of IPOs of Gemini and the like. Would you ever think of an IPO? Would you ever think about selling parts of the business?
Right. I have to admit it's quite tempting to consider these options, given how richly the market values crypto companies these days. We certainly have the numbers to do so. We've done about 1.5 billion in revenue last year, about $1 billion in gross profit, reinvested about 700 million of it, so let's say 300 million net profitability. This year, I think it's going to be better, especially if we see the Fed rate cut and a strong Q4 following. So we have the numbers, and we've been approached by all the top names in terms of the investment banks. We want to be a very well-run company, so we are working on preparing everything, but no decisions have been made at this point. We think that we actually enjoy operating as a private company. It allows us to move really fast. We've got a solid balance sheet, so we don't have to make any decisions in the short term.
Now, I would like to see how it would work as Crypto.com going public. Honestly, I think that it will take away from the actual CRO token. I'm not sure what it would provide, in the sense that how would they make it to where it doesn't interrupt what Crow is doing, but still having people to invest in Crypto.com as a company. So that's kind of my thought process behind it. I don't necessarily want it to be a public company, because if we see the public companies, the public exchanges that went public already, I don't think they have a token. I seriously highly doubt. I don't think Gemini has a token. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I know for sure Coinbase doesn't have a token. They have a blockchain with the base blockchain, but they don't have a token. Robinhood also doesn't have a token, but Robinhood is more so stocks. They're getting into the crypto space. But majority of the crypto companies that have went public don't have a token already. So I would like to see, or they should put out something before they just straight up go public. I don't think this is a thought, more so on the end of Chris right now, especially all the things that's going on with Trump acquiring Crow. I wonder how they would actually feel, about Crypto.com going public when they just acquired all this Crow. So I don't think this is nothing that's going to happen or that necessarily makes sense at this time for Chronos, because I think it just confuses a lot of people. So I don't think that it makes sense at this time. And I don't know what value it will provide. But let me know what you guys think though at the end of the day, because it could be something that I'm missing out on. But everything that's going on with Crypto.com and Chronos is super bullish, and right now we're just preparing ourselves, man, for their Fed rate cut, for things to get back positive. Things are already positive in the crypto space, I would say, but for the macro environment, just to get better, because right now altcoin season we 53 out of 100. The average crypto RSI is 52, so kind of in the middle of everything, and the fear of greed index is 42% neutral. So it's kind of on the end of people are still kind of fearful. They're slightly getting out of their fear stage, but not quite yet. So right now, it's just, in my personal opinion, another opportunity to dollar cost average, especially when we look at the Chronos chart, when we see that, we are on a dip, technically, from those recent highs. So this is just another opportunity to dollar cost average and get as much as you can before we go to Valhalla. So Crypto Troll, that's my video. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, man. I'm out of here.